Today, we're going to dig into something pretty fascinating. A company that claims its whole business is built to heal the planet, not just profit from it. We're taking a deep dive into the Brazilian cosmetics giant Natura. So let's just start with the big question that's at the heart of all this. Is it really possible to mix purpose and profit so completely that making money actually helps regenerate the planet? Or is there always a catch?
And look, this isn't just them patting themselves on the back. You've got heavy hitters like John Elkington, who's basically a legend in corporate responsibility, pointing to Natura and saying, hey, for these guys, this isn't an add-on. It's already baked into how they operate. That quote really sets the stage for everything we're about to explore. All right, so let's start with a foundational idea here. How in the world does a company even think about profiting from regeneration? First up, we gotta be on the same page about what regenerative even means. For Natura, it's not just about, doing less harm or being sustainable. It's about creating a system where every single thing the business does actively makes nature and people better off, in a kind of positive feedback loop. It's a huge mental shift. And this, right here, is the absolute core of their belief. The thing that makes them money has to be the same thing that heals the planet. We're not talking about donating a slice of the profits to a good cause. We're talking about the engine of the business itself being the source of positive impact. Okay, that all sounds great in a mission statement, but what does it actually look like on the ground? Well, let's head to one of the most vital ecosystems on Earth, the Amazon rainforest. Get a load of this number, 2.2 million. That's how many hectares of the Amazon forest Natura helps keep standing just through its business. To put that in perspective, that's an area bigger than some entire countries. But here's the key. This isn't just about walling off the forest. It's about building a whole new kind of bioeconomy. By working directly with local communities, they create a system that proves a living, breathing forest is way more valuable than one that's been cleared. Everybody wins. So let's follow those ingredients from the forest to the final product on the shelf. How do you design regeneration into something people actually use every day? This is where that idea of a circular economy gets real. It's not just one thing, it's a whole system. They're sourcing ingredients in ways that actually restore the soil. They're using recycled aluminum from Nespresso capsules. They're designing refills and concentrates to cut down on waste. And get this, they're even making bottle caps out of plastic pulled from Amazonian rivers. And listen, they are not even close to being done. Their goals for 2030 are incredibly ambitious. They're aiming for a future where basically nothing is wasted, from the plastic bottle to the lotion inside it. That signals a really deep, long-term commitment. So we've talked about the planet, but that's only half the story, right? A regenerative model has to be about people too. Let's shift gears and look at the social and human side of all this. Check out this number, 3.1 million. That's how many consultants and representatives they have in their network, most of them women. That is a massive human network, and with that scale comes a huge opportunity and a huge responsibility to make a real social difference. And they're really trying to walk the walk here, with clear commitments to diversity and equity. They've got hard targets for leadership roles, and they're pushing to make sure all their employees earn a living wage, which is a whole different level than just a minimum wage. You can see they're making real progress. Okay, this all sounds amazing, right? But it brings up a huge question. How do you actually measure all this good stuff in a way that's, believable and can actually guide the business? Exactly. I mean, how do you put a number on doing good? It's the classic problem with ESG. How do you get past the feel-good stories and quantify your impact in a way that even a chief financial officer would take seriously? Well, Natura's answer is this really innovative tool, the Integrated Profit and Loss, or IP&L. Think of it like this. It's an accounting system that tries to put a price tag on all the good and the bad that a company does for society and the environment, making all those invisible impacts visible on paper. And what I think is really powerful here is how honest they are. The model shows these massive positive impacts on people and society, but it also straight up admits a negative impact on nature, the resources they still have to use. This isn't about pretending to be perfect. It's about being real with the numbers. So when you tally it all up, you get to this number. This is the bottom line, the big reveal. Their model shows that for every $1 in revenue they made in 2024, they created 2.5 reais in positive social and environmental value. That is a powerful data-backed claim.
So, with all that in mind, what does this mean for the future? Is this just a one-off, a cool exception, or are we looking at a blueprint for a whole new way of doing business?
It's so important to look at this timeline because it shows this is not some new PR stunt they cooked up last year. This journey goes way back to pioneering refills in the 80s, going carbon neutral way back in 2007, becoming a B Corp. The regeneration strategy is just the next chapter in a story they've been writing for decades. So if we boil it all down, what can we learn from this? Well, for one, it shows that ESG can be a genuine competitive advantage, not just a box-ticking exercise. It proves that companies can help write the rules for sustainability, not just follow them. And maybe the biggest lesson is that creating shared prosperity can actually be an engine for growth. And that really leaves us with this big forward-looking question. If a model like this can work, it challenges every company out there. It's no longer just about playing defense and managing risk. It's about playing offense. It's about asking, where can we create the most positive impact to build a business that's not only profitable, but truly regenerative for the future? That's something for all of us to think about. Thanks for tuning in.